DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Bye, kids.
One of us has.
Are we on? Is this
One
live?
of us has to say
live.
something.
Hi. Welcome.
It's Bill Herman and John Young and Big Daddy Sean McKee, and our
And
presenter spotlight for Monday. We're the presenter spotlight for the DJNTV show, which is happening in coordination with Photo Booth Expo, and that happens February 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. You don't have your tickets yet. What are you, nuts? I mean, come on. It's going to be at the South Point Hotel. It's going to be amazing. It's like John's going to be doing this every year, and I doubt that he will have the amount of talent at each show like he has this first time.
Wow, Bill, are you right?
Pretty much, he's going to go broke paying these people.
Oh, I'm
to buy a
cheap.
ticket.
I'm cheap. All I ask for is dinner at Bootleggers. I'm fine.
Oh my Lord!
No, I'm
I need to
sorry.
get
Sorry,
I
we
need
can't
to get
afford
you
that.
An agent there, that big guy.
Jordan just joined us.
Jordan, we are live right now, streaming out to the world.
So tonight we're going to be talking to, as you know, Sean Big Daddy McKee, and of course Jordan Marshall. Sean is the general manager of James Daniel Music. He lives in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and then Jordan, of course, I believe he's the owner of Explosive Entertainment. That
is correct, gentlemen. Nailed it.
Manalapan, New Jersey.
Manalapan.
Manalapan.
Close.
Yeah,
Only
it was
people
close.
butcher it way worse. That's pretty good.
Jordan, what's up, baby boy?
Whatever.
These two guys are
brother?
going to be doing a presenting on Tuesday night, or Tuesday day rather, around 1 o'clock, right after lunch, on the main stage, and their show is going to be or their presentation is called From the Front and Back of the Stage. They're going to talk about developing brand and style and reinforcing brand and style, and if anybody knows anything about audience engagement, it's these guys. And I'm going to come out and I'm going to engage the audience, and I'm going to leave, and then they're going to make me look like an amateur when they hit the stage. It's going to be really something incredible. I'm really looking forward to it. But before we get into that, because the presentation, they're going to come and see it. There's a lot of people who know you guys, but don't know you guys. So Let me start first with Sean, because he's the elder, and we want to go with the age before beauty.
I'm the old fat guy. Everything. Let's just say it right out. I'm the old fat guy.
I didn't say
I'm
that.
okay.
I'm showing up with some respect, man. Respect. So tell me, Sean, you grew up in that neck of the woods?
Yes, sir.
Right? In Connecticut or in New York or?
Connecticut.
Okay. So when you were growing up, I mean, did you know you were going to be being an entertainer? I mean, what were you wanting to be?
Well, honestly, when I started playing trumpet at 8 years old, and it was like, I played in band, orchestras and stuff like that for elementary, middle school, and high school. High school, I joined the jazz band because the gentleman, we didn't have a jazz band in high school, but the new gentleman that was the musical director talked me into doing it. So I placed second on the East Coast for trumpet playing. Nobody knows that.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty dope.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait a minute. You still got some lip, brother?
I got 2 lips, yes.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
Yes, I can. If I had to pull it out, if I had to pull the trumpet out, shut up. And now we're getting. I told John I was going to be PG for this.
It's a family show, man. It's a family show.
Yeah.
You know,
If
so
I had to pull out the trumpet.
I'll give you $5. You bring your trumpet to this show, and you pull it out on stage. And I want to see a little dizzy. I want to see a little something. Come on.
Oh, all right, $5. Holy Christmas! It's going to cost me more than that to get the dang thing out there. I'll just rent one from Jody Harris. It's cheaper.
Hey, man.
Okay, so let's go back. I
played trumpet.
You're a trumpet player, and you're a musician, and you're 8, 9 years old.
Yeah, I went through until I was 18. Then I had some personal problems. My dad, my biological dad, went in. They didn't think he was going to make my high school graduation. He did. He had cancer. And back then, like we're talking 45 years ago, we're talking this man from head to toe started at 219 when he got into the hospital, came out 79 pounds. So I just lost myself. I decided to be a roadie for a band. I started singing for this band, and then I just
wait.
I got hooked.
That's a really big leap. Okay, you humping gear, and then you go from humping gear to singing. Is it because
with the band, with that band, because they liked
how? Why did you do that? Was that the goal? Was that the job, singing and humping gear, or
back of the stage? Huh?
No, I was back. Hence the back of the stage. No, they liked how I sang Led Zeppelin, and nobody else could sing it in a band, so they said, "Why don't you try Stairway to Heaven?" So I sang Stairway to Heaven, and I had to sing Stairway to Heaven and a couple other Zeppelin songs at every gig. And then I decided to try and sing, just be a singer in a band. So in, 1980, I became the lead singer of like 3 different bands right in a row. And that's how I learned that. That's when I met Dee Snider. Dee Snider was one of my heroes and mentors, if you will, because they used to play every Wednesday at the club I ran. And every Thursday I would play. So at the end of the night, Dee and I would sit in the back. I got more knowledge from that man sitting in the back room in the dressing room of our club. And he could just say hello, and he would have the entire crowd in the palm of his hand.
And this was back before. This is the 70s, before anybody knew who Dee Snider was.
Correct.
And then
actually 80s, in the 80s, 1982, they released Stay Hungry. And from there, the rest is history.
Yeah. And those of you who don't know Dee Snider, we're talking about Twisted Sister.
Yes. And JJ, the guitar player, became the manager of a big, 7 Days Grace or something like that. One of the big bands. And I see Jay every now and again. I see all these guys, and I thank them for everything that they've done for me, because these are the guys in that part of the entertainment business that said, it's okay, you can do this. So I did with the bands, and then I lost myself again, and I moved to Orlando then we had kids and moved to Orlando. That's where I started DJing in nightclubs. I did the vinyl and everything else, and I still use my microphone skills. And then the rest is, I came back to James Daniel in 1993, wasn't handed anything, had to do it a lot on my own. Jimmy, I thank him forever for, hiring me again. And because the band, they were a band. James Daniel Entertainment was a band called Fast Fingers. At one point, I was the fifth finger. I was the lead singer of the band for about 3 months. And then I decided I wanted to DJ. And 1993 till March 1st, it'll be 27 years I've been with this company. And as always, because I'm a bigger guy and everything else, I was told that I shouldn't do bar mitzvahs because I wasn't good looking enough. I said, that's never going to change, so we'll have to figure something out. When I took over as if you will, the lead DJ, they were doing like 20 or 30 bar mitzvahs. our best years, we were doing 70 to 80 in a company that really didn't do bar mitzvahs. And it was, I'm still doing them. Guys, I'm 65 years old. And part of the seminar is going to be how you go from being the front man to still being sort of the front man, but being smart enough to know that they don't want to see an old guy. I've got a crew like Jordan does. His crew is amazing. But I sit, I DJ, I do the opener, I do the closer. The rest, all my young guys are in the front of the stage, and I paid them well. And that's what
it's giving the client the best of both worlds, which is great.
Amen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and let me go back a little bit, because the history, I think, if there's some people out there that watch this little presenter thing that we're doing, that they really want to relate. And I know that there's musicians out there that have gone from musician to DJ. And back in the day when you kind of switched sides. I mean, back in that day, it was bands, DJs. Bands didn't like DJs.
Babe, when I got
like bands.
No,
and
1993.
To do that. Why did you go there? And then how did you keep that? You know what I mean? What was it? What was the thing that motivated you?
It was, back then, it was a monetary thing.
Okay.
It really was, because I was sending money down to Orlando. I had just gotten divorced, wanted to make sure that my kids were taken care of and everything else. And we were, honestly, Bill, we were doing 80% band and 20% DJ when I got there.
Mm-hmm.
20 years later, we were doing 90% DJ, 10% band.
So now, when you were doing bands, though, were you doing bar mitzvahs when you were doing bands?
No, just
okay.
the DJ
So now,
part.
what was it that made you go, oh, well, let's see, maybe I'll do a bar mitzvah? And
less
did you know what you were doing? Did you know anything about it? I mean, how did you go from point A to point B?
Okay, I started thinking about doing bar mitzvahs, and I said, all right, I got to learn everything, because I'm going to be selling these things. I've got to learn. I went to temple. I went to 2 different bar mitzvahs, a bar and a bat mitzvah, from 2 different temples, because each temple does their thing differently. Okay. I learned all the keywords because I was also selling them. And by the time I did my first one, and back then it was, more like I wore a chicken head on my head, a chicken thing on my head.
You?
To lead a condom. Yeah, me. Yeah, me. And you know what? It worked. And it started with this wonderful family. And I did 6 bar mitzvahs for that family. And I'm doing weddings for kids whose bar mitzvahs I did, 25 years ago.
Now, here's the thing I want people to hear, because I have a lot of guys. I've done bar mitzvahs. I've done, you pick an event that needs an entertainer. I've pretty much done it. Okay. And
of course,
and I have people come to me and say, oh, bar mitzvahs, I want to get a bar mitzvahs. How do I do a bar mitzvahs? Or I just booked a bar mitzvah. What am I supposed to know? And honestly, it's a weird question to get, but I do remember the first time I did a bar mitzvah and thinking to myself, am I going to be walking like on the moon, or is it just the same? And it wasn't until I threw myself at it, like very much like you were talking about, throw yourself into it, take out all the baloney out of your head and just toss yourself into a party and realize it's just a party. Okay. And there's some things you can do, right? I mean, especially in the old days when there wasn't a whole lot of interaction, and you bring interaction to it.
Right. Now, here's the deal. One of the things that we will be talking about, Jordan and I, old school versus new school, and how you can combine the two and make a great party.
Right.
Because right now, and Jordan will attest to this, phones are the worst thing ever. Because these kids do not want to leave their phones. Am I right, Jordan?
They do suck.
Hold on.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he won't stop talking about the phones. Yeah, okay. So you're saying?
Was that my dominoes that I had delivered to you? They're on their way. Come on.
Okay, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit. And Jordan, now, Jordan, you are once again old school, new school. Where did you come from? I mean, when you were young, was DJ, entertainer something you always wanted to be, or did you come to this at a certain place? And when did you do your first?
No, man. I fell into it. I was always a people person. I just loved being out there and meeting new people and just kind of being a part of the energy and adding my energy to any room that I ended up in. And I guess little did I know I was kind of laying the foundation for this entire business, which is amazing. And I'm very fortunate to have learned from some really serious entertainers, some great guys, like Jeffrey Craig, who's now one of my partners now, oddly enough, right now in 2020. So, he was one of the guys that I was watching coming up, and Richie Volpes from Music Express, Larry Gold from Unique Music, the EJM Company, Richie Hart from Heart to Heart. These amazing cornerstones of the entertainment game were within my wheelhouse, right from, I grew up in Jersey, and I was actually born in Colombia. I was born in South America, and grew up all in Jersey my whole life, and was privileged to watch these entertainers go to town. And I was actually a guest.
Hold on a second. You're living in Jersey, and you're watching these entertainers. How old were you when you first started seeing guys like this?
So 13. So I'm actually Jewish myself.
Okay, so the first time you saw was you were going to bar mitzvahs yourself.
I was going as a guest, straight up, and it was like I was a guest right around the 1992 to 94.
Right.
95.
So now how do you go to one of those things and go, oh, I want to do that? And when you did that, who did you go to and why?
Well, it was funny because even before that even happened, it was just the time when it had transitioned from band to DJ. Like that whole transition just happened. The DJ was the fresh new thing. And it wasn't even that I knew that I wanted to do it. It was just that I knew that it definitely took something special to get out there and to not only narrate these events, but be vested in it, to have love for it and appreciation for everything the families and everybody's going through to develop this.
No, I got that. I got that. But I mean, how did you start? I mean, what was your first one?
My very first one was I was a dancer. So I actually got brought into a company. My buddy had been working for an entertainment company in the area and said, hey, man, you'd be really great at this. You'd be a motivator for events. And it wasn't even just bar mitzvahs, it was events in general. I was like a motivator, to motivate what? And it was basically to dance and motivate, get people excited. I came in and I had rhythm, but I didn't know a routine. I didn't know. And literally, just like you guys were saying, got thrown into the fire and I loved it, fell in love with it. And I was like, this is great. Like there's structure, but it's like organized chaos. I'm like, I'm all about it. So I was hooked.
And you were always, and so at that point, you're the motivator, you're the hype guy, you're working the room for the guy on the mic. So when did you go, I want the mic, give me the mic?
Right. So I actually, it's funny. I always knew that I kind of wanted to end up being in that position. I fell into an MC role because one of the big MCs that had a lot of bookings at the company that I was with, he was using another means of income, and he had passed the bar. He was going to be a lawyer, and he had all people that unfortunately he was not going to be down because they booked 2 years, sometimes 3 years in advance. He was kind of done. So my boss at the time had called a meeting with all the chiefs, so to speak, of our company that went out and did good events and got requested, even as dancers, and said, hey, listen, Drew's on his way out. Congratulations. He passed the bar. He's going to be a lawyer. Does anybody want to learn this trait and pick up his jobs? And I was like, yo, man, I'm down. Teach me.
So it was literally just you raised your hand first.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Cool.
That's
actually pretty
I
cool.
was a sponge. I saw more jobs. I want to learn, how do we run lights now? How do I, hook up the speakers now? How can I, tell me more about the equipment and the gear, and what do you, as a DJ, what are you looking for? As a dancer, what are you looking for to get out of the event? What are you looking for as an MC? So I just wanted to take in all the information. I was probably at the time, a boss's wet dream, so to speak. You know what I mean? Somebody was like, this is great. I can carbon copy myself, and this is the dude. So it was great. It was really cool.
But at some point you went and did your own thing.
Correct.
Okay. And that's a big leap to go from working for a guy who's taking all expenses to step out and try your own thing.
And I didn't even have the answers. I think it was just a question of me just having balls, and just being like, let's go for it. I had no clue how I was going to do this. I was like, look, I know I got a party, this Friday, this Saturday for the next however many weeks. We'll figure out the rest as we go, as most of us do. And it kept going.
How long did it take you before you kind of figured out? I mean, how many times did you have to throw yourself into the rabbit hole or into the deep end of the pool before you started to go, okay, I think I got something here.
So I always knew I was born to entertain,
I know the feeling. I'm the same way.
I mean, as far as just knowing that I had it on lock, man, it probably took me a good 4 or 5 years of solid building my repertoire, building my show, building my arsenal to be deemed as a man in this industry and not a boy, so to speak.
So now, how did you guys meet?
How did we link up? Good energy, good vibes, good vibe. Talent will always find talent, right, Shawnee?
Amen.
Well, that's not always true, but that that's nice to say, but that's not always true. I'm here, and I'm not as talented as you guys.
Oh, you're pretty cute though. We met.
I think
did we meet in Atlantic City?
Yeah, we did.
I think we met in Atlantic City, and it was just like one of those things. Here's the deal. I know that I may be 65 years old, but I got about 5 or 6 years left at the way I'm going. You know, at the level I'm doing. And I saw something in this guy, and I'm like, oh no, we need to meet. We need to be friends. We need to be everything. And, you know, I love helping people out, as always. But I will say this till I die. Jordan has helped me so much with just our energy together. We click like nobody's business, you know, whether it be personal or business. Here's the deal. We all want the same thing, and we all want to get there in different ways. We've just decided we're going to do it our way.
Yes.
You know, with the double trouble or with Ricky G at the triple threat, whatever. I'm going to tell you, folks. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and making it real too, Shawnee. Everything you said is spot on. I think that the big thing too is that when people get the idea of entertainers, they think that sometimes it has to be hokey. It's like, that's not really how it is. Like, I think we built a very real 2020 product. And a lot of the old school stuff that you were talking about is exactly what the new school is built off of. Just with
right. Just with little tweaks here and there. Yep. And, you know, and the one thing that everybody needs to understand, and Jordan knows this and Bill knows this, it's not about us. If there's no them, there is no us. Done. Simple, easy. If you start making it about yourself, I will find you and I will beat you within an inch of your life. Because there are guys out there that are doing that. Look what I can bring to the table. No. And Jordan, when you describe this, the family dynamics, because right now, the family dynamics are so different than they were when we first started.
Right.
You know, more divorces right now. Mr. trying to outdo Mrs. and this and that. And then, of course, the kids are self-entitled. Yep. So try to get everybody in the same, because, folks, we're all on the same team. We're trying to make the greatest day, you know, of your daughter or son's life. They become a man, they become a woman on this day. You know, bar mitzvah, wedding, actually, whatever.
For some of us, for right now, doing events now might even be in their own right a little bit harder to produce now, just because you can see everything with the click of a button. Back in the day, if you were at a killer event or something was awesome, you had to be there. You had to hear the story from somebody. And then if that show was in town, big concert, I can go see them. You couldn't just go on to your media and see everything unfold in front of your very eyes. So everything's very available. So that, you know, kind of takes the wind out of your sails a little bit, to where people are like, oh, I've seen that already. What else do you have? You got to be ready. You got to be firing.
On all cylinders. And the thing is, you have to be open, and open by meaning not because if you've seen, there's a few DJ companies that if you've seen one of their MCs, you've seen them all. Mm-hmm. They all do the same thing all the time. My friends, with social media right now, you better be on top of your game every day and be fresh. Every gig has got to be fresh.
Here's the thing, and all of this is just a piece and a bit of what you're going to get from these guys on the stage on Tuesday at 1:00 at the Photo Booth Expo and DJNTV show. And one of the things I really wanted to point out, and because there's a lot of guys who come to these little things that we're doing, and they come because, look, we got two of the top guys here. Okay, guys that are playing at a level in the industry they're in right now that many guys don't. And those guys who come to the conferences or reach out to me or even reach out to you, they're like, well, how do I? And I want to be at that level. And you know, the one thing that I've seen is a through line with most of the people that get to where you guys are is that they got to a place on their own at one point, and then they reached out to their colleagues for help and partnership and collaboration. And you two, and what you're doing right now, and what you've done, Jordan, with Jeffrey. I mean, those were two really big moves.
Yep.
To be able to put you into a level, and that was like putting your ego of the entertainer, which is the toughest thing for an entertainer to do, put it aside and go, well, maybe I need some help. This isn't just a DJ entertainer thing. I've seen this in small businesses all around. They start a thing, it's their own thing, and I got to be, the quality's got to be mine, and it's all me, and it's everything that, and that gets you here, right? And then all of a sudden you find someone that you can trust, or just someone that you're allowing yourself to put that trust out, so that now the collaboration will take you to another level. And that's what I think people should see about this video, first of all, is to see the levels that you've brought yourself to just because you found each other and reached out. I mean, Daddy, you reached out for help. Okay. Jordan, you reached out for help. You didn't just say, I'm great, you're great, let's be great together. Right. Okay. And that's really where that evolution comes from. And that's where I think everybody has to begin. And if you can come with that mindset to a conference, to a speech with you guys from the front and back of the stage, and say, I'm a babe in the woods. I don't know what I'm doing. And I got people who got something. Even if you sit there going, oh yeah, I got that. Oh, I don't have that. I get that. If you can just do that, then your level moves. And you guys are just, when people get to where you are and where I am, it's more about what can I give? What can I give? Really?
Correct.
I mean, honestly.
And the big thing is, Bill, and Jordan and I talk about this all the time. You go to these conferences. We have some of the most, coming to this one in Vegas in February. This list of talent is endless.
Yeah, it's serious.
The one thing you got to do, and Jordan will agree with me, at least go there, number one, with an open mind. Number two, implement one of the things you learned your next event. Go there.
What will help you to do that is you go and watch Big Daddy and Jordan, and then when you're done, go over and talk to Big Daddy and Jordan. Okay, they go to the thing, they watch it, and then they go, well, I saw a thing. I wonder what I'm going to... No, something. That's not what these conferences do. None of these people on stage are like, I'm done now. Leave me alone. Okay, I know things because I've gone and attached myself. And if I say to Big Daddy, I thought you were great, and I love what you said, he's going to turn to me and say, yeah, great. When are you going to do it? Now you have what's necessary to create action.
And the other thing is, I think that people have a problem. People have a problem asking for help or saying out loud, because listen, I throw it out there, you throw it out there, but still nobody wants to ever say that, hey, maybe I don't understand this as well as everybody, or it's a little scary, or it makes me nervous. That's hard, especially to get into a room full of your peers and people that do it just as well, if not better, in certain situations than you would. So just put that in the back of your head that it's not that kind of room, it's not that kind of conference. We conversation, we welcome the back and forth. I want to help you, get over the nerves and, the fear of maybe being like, oh man, I want to do bar mitzvahs, or I want to do this certain type of event, but I'm really having a hard time jumping into it. And it kind of, it makes sense for everything. It's not even just a bar bat mitzvah. It's just knowing that it's okay to ask for help. That's one of the reasons why I am where I am, because I've delegated a lot of things that I know I might not be the man at, but I got people that kill it in that position. And and we're all doing everything that we do well together,
Yeah. And I don't think any conference is that kind of a conference. I've been to lots of big conferences with huge stars, and those guys are just as willing.
Yep.
But nobody goes up to them. And you know what?
All you got to do is reach out.
Now that I'm a father of teenage kids, I'm seeing that starting, with junior high and high school. They come home and, I don't know math, so I'm not going to get math. So I don't understand. I'm not good at math, so I'm not going to. Wait a minute. Your teacher's right there. Wait a minute. There's people there that can help you. Now I see the same thing with adult men and women of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old that are still, I'm not good at this, and he's really good at it, and he's not going to want to talk to me, and I'm back in high school again. It's crazy.
But Bill, go on the other end too. There are people, and I was one of these guys. My first ever convention was in Atlantic City in 1997. I was one of those guys. What do I need to learn? I've got a full calendar. Everybody likes what I do, and I get repeat business.
Right.
I swear to you, I walked in with my eyes wide closed. As soon as I saw Adam White's, my eyes woke up and said, "Oh no, we've got a lot more to learn." And I learned more. And Jordan, I'm not patting you on the back. I love you, and I thank you for everything you've taught. You have taught me. You brought me to a new level of everything, because now we are in 2020, and I am in 2020 because of you and Mike and all the younger guys. And I watch them. That's the homie spreading love thing. You've got Nate. You've got all these other guys. Guys, ask questions. That's what we're here for. And somebody had the nerve to say, "Well, Big Daddy's unapproachable." I said, "Have you met me?
Right.
You talk to me for 5 minutes, I'm going to sing you happy birthday. Who are you kidding?" Hello?
Yo,
But
man,
that's the whole thing.
If you're unapproachable, bro, I don't even know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know that we're selling hair products and shower gel at the end.
That's all we need.
That's right.
No, you get to a certain age, you just get a really good wig maker, and you can
That's
be
pretty,
fine.
no, you're killing it, man. It looks good.
I
Any
spend a lot of money on my tubes, so
I got a good comb over. I'm good. I got a niece and a daughter-in-law that's in the hair business. I ain't got much, so they tell me how to make it look better.
Oh yeah, well, my wife's a hairdresser. She won't let me. She won't let me leave the house before she messes with my hair.
That's it.
So anyway, okay. So let's go quickly with just give me one little piece right now.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be going over a lot of stuff with your Tuesday presentation, and it's gonna.
Right.
And I've been to one of your presentations with you two, and it's fast and furious. And if you you really gotta come focused and ready, because they're throwing stuff at you, like hitting you in the head and knocking you over. It's crazy. But what I want to do is tease this a little bit, and I know you're going to go over a lot of things, but if there's one piece that people should look out for, if they can only look out for one thing, what's that one thing you want to be sure they look out for and go away with it?
Ooh, it's a great question.
Great question. The one thing we're going to do is I'm going to do 15 minutes. Jordan's going to do 15 minutes. We're going to do separate. The last 20 minutes is going to be us banging things out. Now, the one, Jordan, maybe you'll agree with me. The one thing they have to remember is to be the best you can be. You can't be Jordan. You can't be Bill Herman. You have to be you. And no matter where you are, whatever market you're in, if I hear one more time, well, they don't do that in my market, my big question is, why not?
Yep.
Am I right?
You're hitting it on the head. I think that people, and to piggyback on that, because I'm glad that you said that, I think people have to be, come to this event with an open mind. Come to this, the whole week should just be visited as, hey, listen, I might have had my show and I might have been doing it like this. I'm at a point in my career where it's good, everything's cool, but I want to take that next step. So don't be afraid to try something different.
Correct.
One of the best ways that if somebody else is saying, hey, listen, this is really working for me in my market. And like you said, nobody does that in my market. Well, why not? Take that one, little piece of note, take it back, put your own twist on it, maybe spin it to match the price point or to match the idea or match the vibe of where you're from and make it about you. You know what I mean? Like take that different piece. So don't be afraid.
Just take what you're saying there is beautiful. Okay. We don't do that in the market. Why not? Okay. You can say that, but if what you're trying to do is look, we're creating a business to stand out. Okay. So you sit there and you find something that nobody does in your market. You wouldn't take that to your market?
Hello. That's the thing. What's going to separate you from everybody else in the market?
Nobody does. The thing that nobody does.
Right.
Babe, Jordan, we've talked about this. Everybody has the same equipment, maybe different manufacturers, whatever the case may be. What is going to separate you, and why is somebody going to call you over somebody else? Yeah. Because they're different.
Because of my toupee.
Perfect. And my beautiful eyes and Jordan's hair. We're all good.
Anybody can go out and do our job, right? But there's only one of us.
Yep.
There's only one me. There's only one you. You know, like that's what I'm saying too. And also, I don't think we were born or put in this industry to be mediocre. Nobody wants to be. Anybody doing it doesn't want to be forgotten by the end of the last song. You know what I mean? We're not doing that for this reason. So let's be memorable. Let's stick out in people's minds. I have clients that are like, oh my God, Jordan, like our party was like 11 years ago. It's still the greatest day of our entire lives. That's
right.
That's
one
what
of the best thing.
Like, it's insane that people hold that day to such a high, you know, caliber, like, that's what we want to do. But I think it's so like different when you hear it back and it's like, wow, I really delivered, you know, like I find ways to keep delivering like that.
Let me change it up real quick. I went to NXT last Wednesday. Jordan, I think we chatted for a minute. Mauro Ranallo.
Where did you go?
NXT, WWE, the third brand of WWE. I was in Orlando with my kids.
I got you.
Okay. So I had the honor of sitting, beautiful seats, everything else, right next to the announcers. I watched the bipolar rock and roller. This man, Mauro Ranallo, I'm telling you right now, Bill, how he does his job is how we do our job. We get excited. He's jumping up and down, and all this is fake. And I'm going, this man loves us as much as we do. That's what you have to be. But the thing is, don't be excited for you. Be excited for them. Make everything. The wedding I did on New Year's Eve, there was 8 different couples whose weddings I've done in the past 10 years. I was ready to cry because they were like, Sean, they're still talking about you. Mm-hmm. And I don't say my name once. Everybody knows who I am by now. But you got to remember, you have to be excited. You want to be as excited as they are. But right now, we're going to go over this, Jordan. You know that. Our millennials, if you will, we're more excited to do their parties than they are to have them.
Yeah, to be in the room sometimes.
Correct. And that's the toughest part. What don't you? They're not doing a lot of the same stuff. I had a bride ask me for next year, do you want to do the cake? No.
And that's where we're gonna also trick in like certain things, certain trigger things to wear. Like the way to walk into a cocktail hour with a bunch of 13-year-old millennials or Generation Z that only, you know, watch the E network and they're like, what's the hottest fashion label? What's the biggest, you know, sneaker that's going on that's out there? We're going to give you tricks that'll help there confidently and be able to, you know, shoot the you-know-what with these kids and be like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. He gets it, you know?
Well, you guys have been unbelievably generous on just this. I can't even imagine how much more generous you're going to be when you have a full hour of nobody interrupting you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Now, look,
but you can sit in the middle and interrupt us. I like you. You're a nice fella.
So now you want tickets to this. So you haven't got your tickets yet. I know that there's people still sitting at home going, Vegas in February, man, Vegas. Okay, do what you want to do. But here's the thing. There's 2 conferences in Vegas this year. One of them will be more expensive in the hotels than the other. Okay. They're both going to be great conferences. Okay. But those of you who are worried about your money right now, especially this year, in February in Vegas is going to be less expensive than March in Vegas. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to compete one way or the other because I go to both all the time. And this year I'll be at both of them. But, you know, if it's the first time of going and you want to give it a little try, you know, go into the South Point, beautiful hotel. It's going to be February 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. The hotel's great. The conference is awesome. If you have a business that you're running, you get to write a lot of this off, which now talks your wife into letting you go to Vegas in February. There's all kinds of wonderful things going on here, okay? Right. So we want you to be there.
Too, Bay, yeah, for everybody too as well. You know, some of the coolest parts that I think Sean and I take away from these conferences aren't even so much – the seminars are great. But it's grabbing that cup of coffee with that professional from across the country that you're like, man, we got something. Let's talk about this. Or, you know, let's grab a drink, you know, late night when everybody goes out for, you know, one of the industry parties or something.
That is exactly what we're trying to create, John and I.
Man, that is where you are going to do your best networking. I promise you. That is where it's worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely.
It's going to happen.
And with every place.
And we want
you heard
you
about
to be
Wednesday.
There for it. We really want you to be there for it. And I hate to stop us, guys, but we're already over time. Okay. So we want you to be there.
Wait a minute. Is John going to charge us for overtime now? Hello. Am I getting a bill in the mail?
Yes, you will.
You are.
Let them know about our party that we're doing. They should all come.
Oh yeah. We're doing a party.
There's going to be a party too?
Wednesday
yes,
night.
we're closing the convention that Wednesday night. We're the last party in the showroom, if you will, where the big people play. And it's going to be Nate Nelson, Jordan Marshall, a gentleman by the name of Michael Joseph, Nick Spinelli, and Shaney Barnett, all spinning. And I'm your host on the microphone. Y'all are in big trouble.
This is amazing. I cannot believe how awesome it's going to be, and they didn't even invite me. What?
Oh, you could come.
No,
we'll
fine.
dance.
No, that's okay. You guys are better than me. Fine.
No. We'll dance. You and I will dance while they mix. John goes, are they going to give
you
you
wait a minute. You don't think I can mix? Go,
hey,
man.
I said
one of these
John
days,
said,
I'm going to one of these mix parties, and all the old man Bill doesn't know what he's doing. You know something? You give me a week, okay, to get my chops back. I'll pull out all of my I got vinyl, real vinyl. I use needles, real.
Oh, that's
needles.
how I started.
I learned. I played in your neck of the woods back in the day,
up in Hartford.
Sean. I learned from guys that learned from Grandmaster Flash. I know what I'm doing.
I ran a rock club.
I just don't do it as often anymore.
Oh yeah. As long as you can count to 4, we'll be fine, Bill. But listen, that's
well, I got to practice. Like I said, I need a week. So here you go.
All right.
You go to DJNTV.com/tickets. You buy your tickets. You use DJNTV Show 2020. Use that as a promo code, and you will get the cheapest tickets that are available. DJNTV.com. No, I'm sorry. DJNTV Show 2020. That's your promo code. Go to DJNTV.com/tickets. And you'll be able to get your tickets. Do not do this. Go buy.
No.
As soon as I'm done, go buy your tickets, and then show whoever that you got to talk to that you bought tickets. That way, you have to now find a way to get here because it's really going to be something great. And trust me,
$69 a night.
As these two guys are, there are another 15, 20 guys just as cool waiting there for this show. You do not want to miss this. February.
Oh no, the education is going to be amazing.
26th,
and it's hosted by my boy, Mr. Bill Herman. And there's another surprise. We will be greeting people at the door as they come into the seminars.
Why are you
thanking them for coming?
Were you telling them now? Okay, it was going to be a surprise. Now you ruined
it. Surprise nothing. Buy the tickets.
You ruined it.
Just a couple of Easter eggs, that's all.
He can't, he's like you can have a birthday party with him and he'll let you know that you're going to a birthday party. Oh, you have a surprise party too. It was
a surprise party. Well, you heard about my surprise party. I walked in and I heard surprise and they go, for who? You. No.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty great just watching it. I couldn't even go. So, okay, this is Presenter Spotlight. We're going to do another one of these tomorrow. I don't even know. These guys, they got me so freaked out about what they're going to be doing. I can't even tell you who's going to be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, but there will be somebody really amazing.
But it'll be just as cool.
It'll be way cooler because So be sure to come. Thanks for being a part of it. This is Bill, DJNTV, and the Presenter Spotlight. And we'll see you in Las Vegas, baby.
See you in Las Vegas, boys.
Vegas.
Vegas.